everyone, welcome back to Amherst, the exclusive block of the month from Connecting Threads. I'm Adam Ratliff, aka Adam So Fun with an S-E-W, and today I'm here to show you another gadget, another trick, something else I like to use when I'm creating. So as you can see on the board behind me, last time we met I had 0 blocks done. I was working on my first one, which was this one. I finished my second one, and now I'm going to show you another tip, show you another product I love. And so I have been using my block lock rulers. We talked about them up here. I love them. I love that I can trim everything down and make it the correct size that I need. But in working in conjunction, a product that I like that works really great with these is this diagonal seam tape. This is from Cluck. So again, it is available at the Connecting Threads on Connecting Threads. It is a seam tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it to the bed of my machine and my table. And instead of drawing all those lines across my fabric, I hate doing that. I always just eyeball it. So instead of drawing those lines, it has lines that are going to line up. You have the red, which is the middle, and you have your 1/4 inch lines. So the idea is that you're going to line up the corner of your fabric with your foot or whatever presser foot you're using, but the other corner is going to line up with this seam tape as you stitch, and then you know you're getting a perfect, well, almost perfect-ish, 1/4 inch away from that line. It all depends on where you put your tape and if it's straight. I'm going to show you the trick I use to putting my tape on. You're going to see me fumble around a little bit, but this is what I found works best for me. But whatever, find what works best for you. I do love this tape, especially when you're using it with block lock rulers, because I tend to make my blocks a little bit bigger. I might not stitch a full 1/4 inch away from the line because I know I get to trim that up. So I'm probably going to do a scant quarter, if maybe even a little less, because I get to trim it up. It doesn't have to be perfect with the block locks. So these two are a great pair to use together. So I'm going to bring the camera over here, show you how I use this. I'm going to be working on block 18. Yes, I'm still in month 1, but I thought this one would be a good one to work on because we're going to do some half square triangles, which are going to turn into 1/4 square triangles, and we're going to make some snowball blocks. So it's not just a half square triangle thing. You can use it for multiple applications. So let's bring you over here and I'll show you how to put it on, let's say install it, and how I use it. All right, I have a squeaky chair, so sorry about that. But so this is the tape. It just comes on a roll. I actually had the tape on this for a really long time before I took it off, and now I need to put a new piece on. So for lack of a better word, like a washi tape. You can stick it on, and it's going to come off with no residue. So one of the things I really like about it. So you don't have to worry about getting your surface sticky. And like I said, I had this on for a while. So I need to get this on, but I need this to be straight from the bed of my machine. So I have my 1/4 inch foot, my favorite one I like to use. I'm going to put my needle or my foot down, because this is a foot where I'm going to line up the edge of my foot with my ruler, or with my fabric. So I stick a ruler up here. This foot happens to have a little notch, so I can pop it up in that notch. I do have a notch on my needle plate, so I'm going to make sure that's lined up. And we're going to go about there. So now I'm going to pull out a piece, however long you want. The hardest part is getting a nice good rip. And so I want to line up, I can see my 1/4 inch notches. I need to come over a little bit, actually. I got to put this first piece on. So I'm going to, there's my 1/4 inch, there's my 1/4 inch. I'm going to get those right on top of each other. There we are. And I'm going to pull this tape coming straight towards me. It looked like it was going off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to put it on, and now I can come back with my ruler and see if it's straight. And it is definitely not straight. So I'm going to pick up, oops, I went a little too far. I couldn't get the end. So now, push that down. Now what I'll do, I can see that it stayed straight. Let's see. Oh no, actually that looks pretty good. Oh, just picking it up and shifting it that little bit fixed it. I might come to my right a little bit. Now, does it have to be absolutely perfect? No, it doesn't, because I'm going to trim it up using the block lock ruler that I'm using as my straight edge right now. So it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. That looks pretty good. So there, now it's installed. That's installation. Now I have table that goes up and down when I need to change my bobbin, I can lift this up. The tape comes off. It's okay. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to pull this back just a tiny bit and maybe cut it straight with some scissors just because it was getting into my feed dogs a little bit. There we go. And now I have my tape installed. So here's my fabric. Here's my snowball block. I'm going to make sure it's right side up. That's the hard thing with this white on white. Put it here. And now, this, I don't need to be a 1/4 inch away from the side. I need to be right corner to corner. So what I'm going to do, throw in a little leader, because I stitch with leaders. So I'll put my corner up, line that up with my needle. On this side, I'm lining that corner up right on my red line, and we'll stitch. And I just keep this lined up on my red line, and that's perfect. Couldn't be any better. If I want to do another one, let's see, there we are. And when I make these, I usually jump back and forth. So I'm going to come this way so my fabric's not getting in the way of itself. And you can, so if you're left-handed and you have to stitch backwards, you can go both ways. So that's nice. Still lining up my corners. Careful to not put too much pressure because we are stitching bias. So when we're stitching bias, we don't want to stretch those fabrics out. There we go. Let's see. This fabric is directional, but after block 1, I decided that I wasn't going to worry about that. And then I would continue with those. With my next one, I got to look at what we're doing. All right, now I'm going to do the house square triangles, and what I want is I want to do a scant 1/4 inch. So usually I'm going to line this up here, and this corner is going to be lined up with the black line. But I'm going to come in just a tad. I want to actually go into my foot a little bit because I'm trying to get this a nice, shorter, thinner seam allowance. So I'll stitch until I can actually see my tape. There we are. So I'm coming just in on the left side of my black line. There we are. And I will do it again with this one. And because I'm using the block lock, this is going to let me have just enough to trim off to make sure that everything is nice and straight and square. And I didn't have to go in and draw any lines with this Cluck Cluck Sew tape. Cluck Cluck Sew diagonal seam tape. I just call it Cluck Cluck Sew tape. This is an example of your snowball blocks, perfect corner to corner, and here's my 1/4 inch on the sides. Although again, they're not a 1/4 inch because I'm going to trim them up, so I needed them a little bit shorter. So I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. It's linked in the description below, and I'll put the link in the comments as well. Bye everybody.